Hey everybody, what's going on? It's a Birch Mail video again today. We've got a special vehicle in the shop today, if you can tell. It's my Titan, 2004 Nissan Titan. I'm going to do a service on it today, an oil change, and I'm going to go over some stuff you might miss if you're just trying to do a real fast oil change. But even if you do this on the ground, like a lot of people actually have to do that watch these kind of videos, even when you're sitting there on the ground, you're crawling around under there, there's some things that you can kind of see that I will point out in the video, and I can kind of tell you what they are and what they do and what you need to do to them. Like some of mine, I know I got hoses under mine that going from my transmission cooler to the radiator, or maybe it's just to the transmission, because that sounded kind of redundant, you know. Why would it go through the radiator and then turn right around and go through the transmission cooler? Which I guess is possible. But anyhow, I know mine need to be tightened, so I'll go under there and I'll show you guys about that. So yep, let's get this service started. Alright guys, so once you're underneath the oil plug right here, which you can't freaking see, so right there, oil plug right here, it's 14 millimeter. Let me go ahead and take it out. Maybe. I apologize for it being so dirty under here. This is, you know, it's a daily driver. It gets drove. It gets drove everywhere. It's also our only vehicle, so, you know, you can see where it would be so dirty. While that is draining, this would be a good time to check for any leaks you might have. Like I'm starting to get kind of a pinion seal leak on my front end here, which you can actually check. You need to do probably right here, just a little, what the heck's it called? 3/8 drive, I think. That's what it looks like. And yeah, it's a 3/8 drive. You can check that. I'm not going to, because my four-wheel drive doesn't work anyway right now, so I'm not even going to worry about it. But that's something that you guys want to check for. And if there's any grease inserts, you know, like your ball joints or your tie rod ends, none of mine has been replaced, believe it or not, at 154,000 miles, so I don't have to worry about that. Now I'm going to get to right here where I'll show you guys. It's actually wet. You can see where it was wet, where this line was loose. I actually tightened it up a little bit the other day. This one's getting wet, so I'm going to have to get me another one of these little whatever they're called, clamps that you can screw in there and tighten that down, because that's what's happened with these, is these get weak. And so you need to reinforce it with that so you don't lose any fluids. Same goes for this side, you know. You need to make sure these are tight. And any other thing else you need that might need to be tightened. Here's the oil filter. Napa 21356. I don't know what it would be or anything else. Sorry about the loud noise. There's a motorcycle going by. Make sure you know, check for any leaks right here. I'm not exactly sure what that's from, but I really don't care. Don't be like me about that though. My state-of-the-art exhausts. Alright, state-of-the-art. Gutted resignators, both of them. Comes all the way back to this pipe, loops around a glass pack, and comes out right there. That is my state-of-the-art exhaust. It's not state-of-the-art at all. For your rear end, you can see where I've checked it before. Right there, same thing, 3/8 drive. Stick your pinky down in there and to the first knuckle, and if it's not up to that, fill it up to, you know, adequately. Fill it up adequately. Holy crap. I had a bar right here Look at that. Had a bar right here that went from there to there, and it's gone. Well, that's nice because that's probably in someone's tire now. Good, thanks to me. But let me go ahead and get the oil filter off, and we'll continue this. Another thing I thought about on these Nissans here, I've actually had quite a few problems with it, especially since, well, I've had rear end problems up until now. I had to completely build my rear end. But you can see where it's built up before, right here. All this grease is built up. Them seals are right here. They are right at the end. Just like on a Ford, you know. Like, I'm not kidding, they are right here. So they will leak. Obviously you can see it's leaked on both sides. You can tell. So we had to put new seals in it several times. About 3 times actually. And actually had to put a whole new drive shaft on, or a whole new axle shaft on this side. And we put a new chunk in it, new ring gear, pinion gear, and all that crap. So yeah, this truck's been kind of hell, but it was because the previous owner was really rough on it, and then I haven't been the easiest on it, and pretty much everything just hit it all at once. You know, it's old. It's an 04. You know, it's 13-year-old now, almost 14. So everything kind of hit it all at once. You know. All right. So as you can see, there's a ramp right here. So what you want to do is set you a bucket. You know, right here, like I did on the ground. You know what I mean. If you're doing this on the ground, and you know, just unscrew it off. It should run down just like so. Shouldn't be any problem there. Oh, it's gonna go everywhere. But yeah, we should be able to do that. Clean it up. Make sure there's no gasket. I'm gonna get the new filter, and I'll show you where the gasket is if you don't know. If this is your first time. Here's the filter. We only have Napa filter here, so this is the only thing I can give you. This little black ring here is the gasket. You got to make sure that that doesn't get stuck on the top, because it will happen if you cram it down too tight. Sometimes the person before you or whoever does it, it will get stuck. It's happened on many vehicles before. And when that happens, when you don't see it and you just put the new filter on there, as soon as you fill it up with oil and you go to start it to fill up the filter, it will fill up, but it will also blow the rest of the oil all over the floor. So don't be like me and be that kind of person that does that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Something else I forgot to say, some of you guys' vehicles, like probably the Pro 4X, I would assume, would have a plate right here. Your oil filter, you know, it's in the same spot, so you know, you just take that plate off, because we've had some Nissan Frontiers that are in here that were like that. So that's all it is, though. Mine's just a 4-wheel drive. Right now it's 2-wheel drive, so you can see. But yeah, that's it for underneath. So let's go up top. Also, guys, another thing I didn't think about until just now. When you're underneath your truck, you know, if it's your personal truck, so or car or whatever, actually grab stuff and yank on it. You know, make sure nothing is loose. Make sure everything's tight. Make sure you don't got crap falling out. You know what I mean? Just a little heads up there. I haven't done that yet, but it's because I check everything. So, you know, just be cognizant of everything. So here's where all your magic happens. You know, your 5.6 V8. Mine has a cold air intake with duct tape. And you put your oil in right here, obviously. There's a lot of this, you know, if you've owned this truck for very long, there's a lot of this stuff that you'll probably already know. You know, 5W30. Do I want to? Yes. I'm going to go ahead and put Lucas in. You can never go wrong with this stuff, especially if you've got over 75,000 miles, you know, or 100,000. You can never go wrong with this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, so I'm actually going to do a quart of Lucas, which is this, which, you know, it's just really good and thick, and it's only a quart, and it's really sticky. It'll really stick to everything. Make sure everything's really good and lubricated, especially with a vehicle that, it's got 7,500, 150,000, 175,000 miles. You get my point. You kind of want to do this kind of stuff. It's like I always say, don't be afraid to spend money on your vehicle, like maintenance wise, because the more money you spend maintenance, it's the less you really have to spend usually if stuff will break. You know what I mean? Like I've had to do a bunch of stuff to this. I put a motor in it, rebuilt the rear end, or built the rear end basically. It's not stock at all, the rear end, so I've got as much money into this truck, and I got a good deal on this truck when I bought it, back when the price was still up on these a few years ago. So I could have paid this truck off twice for what I paid for it, not for what it books for, because that'd be like 20 grand at the time. But so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in there, obviously, and then put 6 quarts of oil of 5W30. So if we can all do math here, then these things take 7 quarts of oil. So just make sure you know that kind of stuff. 7 quarts is a lot. I'm gonna put this in here and it's gonna take some time. So basically, guys, what you want to do, when you're in here, you want to check your power steering fluid, your windshield washer fluid, which is right here, your antifreeze, which can be checked on the radiator or in the burp bottle here. And you want to check after you start it, after it's running. You want to check your tranny fluid, your transmission fluid, and then after it gets shut off, check your motor oil, your engine oil, and you can check your brake fluid. And if you don't have an aftermarket filter, take the cover off and check your filter, because a lot of people don't do that. Mine's actually nasty, so you don't have to be blown out. So that, and just regular maintenance stuff, make sure if yours has automatic lights, which mine doesn't, when you get out, you'll be able to see if your headlights are on, so you'll know that those are on, and your tail lights too. So just general maintenance stuff, just little things that I believe strongly that everybody that owns a vehicle needs to know. It's very important, especially when you get a truck, because most people buy trucks. Sorry about that light. Most people buy trucks to work them, they get worked. And I haven't, not so much now since I've taken this job, and I've been here about 1.5 years, almost 2 years now. But before that, when I first bought this truck, I was working the piss out of it. I've hauled many loads with this thing, and I've probably maxed it out 4 or 5 times. My strut assemblies and my shocks in the back are shot all the way around. They're shot. That's why it rides the way that's why it looks the way it does. It looks like a freaking 2-wheel drive. I don't know if you can tell, but it looks like a 2-wheel drive when you're seeing it going down the road, which technically it is a 2-wheel drive right now. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I'm gonna check all the stuff that I just told you guys to check, and then I'll be done. So, but just if anything you see or you think of, just check it. It's just a good way for you to know what your vehicle needs and what it's good on. And since it's getting colder out, if you have a little checker, which I don't, which I do, to check how good your antifreeze is, do that. Which I know that's going to be kind of hard pressed, since a lot of people don't just have that kind of stuff laying around. Some do, but that's all we got for this video, guys. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, show us some support on the channel, and I'll give you guys more content. And but that's all we got for this video. 2004 all the way up to 2000 and probably even 15, I'd say. Nissan Titan oil change how to. So thank you guys, and take care. Have a good day. Get ready, hit it.